and raucous atmosphere in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. I got one. Check.
They'll run for the first time with Kareem Hunt. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Switch.
Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's been a long day for you. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Regular.
To the air. Allen. Dancing to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
Round 80! 56, right there. 56. Come on, baby. Come on, let's go. Patrick, middle.
And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we... Step aside here in this first quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. So the shotgun snap to Allen, and that's complete to Croft. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run. This is Hunt. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for a loss.
50, 56, check 56. Just warm up. 49, check that.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
56 is the mic.
Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. That one is caught by Hunt. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on fourth. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And that's caught by Beasley. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Hunt, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Throwing now is Allen, and he's able to find Diggs. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll toss it to Smith. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
That's the end of the first quarter with no score.
Right there, 56. What we got?
On 2nd and 11 now. Allen. And he completes it to Hunt. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Working out of his shotgun. Here's Allen. And he finds Beasley, complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Bills' opening drive yields 3. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Check 42. Check. Alert flare. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 50.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Two minutes gone by, 2nd quarter.
Pick it up. Kill.
3rd and short yardage, Prescott. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Elliott running right. Shifts by him. And an alley to run. A big run that time by Elliott. Give him 58 yards on the ground. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. This Buffalo defense has stood their ground. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Zerline good with a PAT. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 6. 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. From the gun, it's Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Allen. And this one caught by Beasley. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 43.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Finding Knox there, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 28. Allen now 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Allen nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Watch the run, watch the run.
They'll run with Elliott. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
He's brought down by a 2-yard pickup. Brings up 3rd and 1.
52. No. Off. Then we're going to 53.
10th carry now for Elliott. Elliott a 1st down and more. Cuts it out to the sideline. And down to the 7-yard line. And he will finally be tracked down at the Bills' 7-yard line. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Hey, kill. 27. 26.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go!
At their own 19-yard
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Half 85.
They'll run it here with Smith. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. They'll run it. Here's Lynch. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Going for it on 4th down. Allen nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Gerald McCoy and Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. A first down carry by Elliott. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 21-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Mike, 53. He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Sure. Go to 54. Go to 54. Line 36.
Again, it's Elliott. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
That's it, baby.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Good shot, baby. That's a baby shot. Mike, 53.
Prescott to throw it. And that is incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And Zerline's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Flushed out right. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun, Allen. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Allen going to go on fourth down. And Diggs has it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. To throw, it's Allen. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. Here's Allen to throw it. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And again, it's Allen. Out to the left, he's got his tight end, Knox. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 14.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Jalen Smith, who took a huge step forward last year, in on the tackle for Dallas.
And 10 at the 14-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Allen to throw. From the gun, he'll throw. This is caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Bills' passing game getting them down the field. They've got another first down. One receiver right, that's Brown. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
This is Elliott. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Here we go. All right, here we go. 46. You ready? Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Hey, watch this.
Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Here we go. All right, check 53's Mike. Here we go. 46. Gun. 26.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Watch the screen. Watch twist. Watch the twist. Kill.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Prescott on 4th down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Every yard they gain, getting them better and better field position, and obviously a field goal makes this a 2-score contest. That's really all they need.
And that means for your play caller, he's not looking to the attack portion of his sheet, right? He's looking for, okay, what do we have that's going to keep us in a good spot, no lost yardage plays.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Beasley signed with the Bills in March just before his 30th birthday after 7 years with the Cowboys, hoping that he can be a very valuable slot receiver in Buffalo. Just under 700 yards last year and 3 touchdowns in Dallas. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen, he hits Beasley right side. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Allen going to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
56 to Mike, boy, 56.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And that's caught by Smith. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down.
First down, Bills.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
We ain't beginning to square you up. Don't get nervous. Middle. 56. Mike, 50. Middle. 56. Let me go.
Now Allen again. Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league.
Stephon Diggs, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And the Cowboys are going to secure the football, and with it, they'll just about secure the victory as well. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Defense wins championships, baby.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Dallas, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what the mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining, I got up and changed my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. Long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. We ain't gon' run, no we don't hide. I could never switch, not a day in my life. As long as my dogs, they by my side. Yeah, we gon' ride till we die, die, die. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressed in all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating.